Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday webinar session today. I can see we've got quite a few people coming in, which is really great to see. And also good morning for those of you who are joining us from perhaps the other side of the world. And today we're going to hear all about the amazing Alila Kothaifaru property in the Maldives. And we're joined today by Joya, who's going to take us through this presentation. Before we get started, if anyone has any issues hearing or seeing anything, please do write in the question box to let us know. And if you do have any questions throughout, please do feel free to ask. This is the perfect time to get any questions in about the property that you're not sure about. And then we can do a Q&A session at the end. I'll ask Joya any of those questions. But without further ado, I'm going to hand over now to Joya to take us through the amazing Alila Kothaifaru.
Thank you so much. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're based. And thank you for sparing these 30 minutes. I promise we're not going to spend hours and hours on this presentation, despite the fact that I personally would rather be there than being here in the UK with this grim weather. But I love talking about the resort, especially at this time of year, because it really makes you dream a little bit. So a couple of things about the property itself. I don't know if you're familiar with the location or the property itself, but Alila Kothaifaru Maldives is based on the Raa Atoll, which means that it's only 45 minutes seaplane from Male. And the Raa Atoll is very famous for its marine life, which of course means that you are able to see many more marine life than you would in other parts of Maldives. One of the most interesting thing about the resort is, and you can see straight from here, is the fact that the resort is all about sustainability. And you can see that even starting from the buildings. So you can see in here how the buildings are completely different from your typical Maldivian resorts. And the reason is because we do want to make sure that we are as close as possible to nature and that our buildings are not aggressive. So as well in terms of sustainability and in terms of heat consumption and AC consumption, they're just set up in the perfect way. Here's our little dolphin. As you can see, the resort is actually shaped like a dolphin with a little tail in here. So when you will arrive in here. And this is as well where all our diving and water sports are. And then you will be conducted to the nose of the dolphin, where majority of our facilities are based. You do have our kind of beach villas in here and all of our overwater in here. Remind me, I'll tell you a little bit more about this little island in just 1 second. One of the things that I really like about this resort is the fact that it's really easy to sell. So I know that for you is tricky sometimes because you have to remember all the different room categories that every single resort has. For us, we basically have 2 room categories, and then they're subdivided just based on the view. So it's very easy and self-explanatory. The beach pool villas is the perfect spot for families because it's a 2+2. You do have the opportunity to actually close the door between the living room and the bedroom. Now, I have a 3-year-old. I know exactly how important it is to close the door. So I think it's important as well to remember when you compare our property with other properties, our basic room category is actually comparable to a 1-bedroom suite. As you can see in here, every single room has a pool. And of course, the outdoor bathrooms, because you're in Maldives and you need to have an outdoor bathroom. But the 2 sides are, of course, the living room just in here, as well as the bedroom over here. I don't really have to explain much more about the sunset or the beach pool. So, of course, is where the view lies. The other option we've got on properties are the overwater pool villas. And those are perfect for couples. We can accommodate 1 child previous to, of course, signing a disclaimer. But this is more your perfect couple retreat. In here, what you want to do is you just want to relax and enjoy. As you can see, every room has their own pool, and as well the area where you can relax just on top of of the sea, the ocean behind you, which is great. 3 different categories in this case, again, just based on the view, but the layout of the rooms are absolutely identical. The one thing that I found very interesting about this property is that despite the fact every single room has its own pool, our infinity pool is super, super popular. It is, people just love to come in here to see and be seen, but as well, this is where we do lots of our activations. Because Alila is a brand that is all about well-being, we do have quite a lot of health options. So we do have yoga retreats, we do yoga twice a day. We have a beautiful fitness center, which is actually in an area of the resort that we kept that almost looks like a jungle. I did mention water sports at the beginning. And as I said, water sports and the dive centers are really the heart of our resort. And this is partially due to the fact that in our property, you can actually see the big fives. Now, the first time I was told that, I thought, elephants and giraffes? Maybe not, no. The big fives, I don't know for the ones that are not familiar with it, but the big fives will be the manta rays, the dolphin, the sharks, the graceful rays, and the turtles. So you have an opportunity to see this beautiful marine life from our resort. We have a standing spa, which sits on top of the fitness center, and it's all about the Alila brand. So Alila is part of Hyatt and is a brand that is all about well-being. It was built in, the first ever one was in Bali, and you can see that throughout because all our therapists have an amazing training, and lots of the treatment that we offer are Balinese inspired. We do have as well, of course, an Alila Living, which is our little boutique, because when you're on holidays, you always want to bring back something. So you do have a chance to do that, of course. For those seldom rainy day, we have as well a games area. Of course, in here, this is the perfect spot to kind of enjoy some time in the company of the people you're with, especially as I mentioned, if it's raining. But of course, we do have as well lots of outdoors options in terms of sports. You can see here the outdoor floor chess, the table tennis, of course, the beach volley, and the must of the moment, we do have a paddle tennis court as well, very popular at the moment. The library is our air-conditioned area where you can just come and relax and read a book or just have a chat with someone if the heat is too much. And of course, we do have as well our kids club, which is super important for those family that wants to have a little bit of a break on holidays. But the property is a lot about as well the culinary experience. The food on property is really delicious. And we do have lots of different options. So in terms of options, you will see that there's always a restaurant with a bar attached. Sea Salt is our main restaurant. And this is what is included in your all-inclusive rate, is where we serve breakfast as well. And we have lots of different Mediterranean options in here. Myra's Bar will be the bar attached to it that serve lots of delicious cocktails. We have, of course, a Japanese restaurant, which is called Umami. This comes at a surplus on the rate, but it's super popular, especially for their teppanyaki cuisine. And I do highly suggest to pre-book it for any guests in-house, just to avoid disappointments. And the Yakitori bar is the bar attached to it. So all the cocktails in here are more Japanese inspired. Pibati Cafe is the perfect spot for people that actually, rather than going for all-inclusive, have an off-board option that they sign up with, because this is a grab-and-go concept. And this is the famous little island that I showed you on the original map. Now, we do offer a great service in the island, which means that if your other half is misbehaving, we can send them to the island with no food and no drinks. No, just joking. This is actually a lovely experience that we offer in this little island. It's kind of a Robinson Crusoe type of experience. You can come either for a picnic lunch for 4 hours, or in the evenings you can come for with a private chef that can cook you a barbecue sunset dinner. you can be part of the culinary experience, because we do like people to kind of enjoy and chime in. So one of the things that you can do is you can join our chefs in our spice garden and help picking the produce that you want to use in your meals. We do have, of course, lots of other options that you can find probably in lots of other Maldivian resorts, and you know them. But the activations that we offer as well are activation related to the local area. So you do have the art of coconut. You can have a day in a life of a Maldivian, storytelling. You can even learn a little bit of the local language. So again, the property is a lot about being sustainable, but not only sustainable in terms of being sustainable with the environment, but as well talk about the local community and being part of something. Of course, this is the perfect spot as well for any celebration, be it a wedding, a renewal of vows, or anything you could think of, because why not do it in paradise, right? As I mentioned, all about sustainability, green initiatives, and local community. So this is a very short presentation of our property, but I think the best way for you to kind of understand the property will be to probably come and experience it. So I'm definitely here to help if that's what you would like to do. And if you do have any questions, I'm here now, or you can reach out to me. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Joya. We do have one question already that is about the Castaway Island. Does any meal plan include the Castaway Island experience, and how far in advance do guests need to book that?
So ideally, we would like to get it booked 48 hours ahead of time. Again, to avoid disappointment, we are not a massive resort, but as you can imagine, it's only one at a time. So this is 2 options a day. We highly suggest usually to get it booked about a couple of weeks before arrival. But we can, of course, fit people in during the trip. One of the things about the property is that they're very, very flexible, and they try to make it happen, because we know people are there for a special occasion, and we really make anything that we can in order to make it possible.
Perfect, thank you. We've got one more question is, do you allow young children in the overwater villas?
Yes, so young children are allowed in the overwater villas if the parents sign a disclaimer. It's very important for us to mention this. And the only thing I need to mention is that is only if the child shares the bed with the parents. We don't have per se an age limit, but usually it's not over 3. But again, depends on the parents' preferences. We cannot fit 3 adults though. That's the only thing.
Okay, perfect, thank you. And how is your festive availability coming up?
So we do have lovely festive options, and Olivia can tell you all about it. The very, very special offers we've got with them. But we do still have some availability, especially for the first part of the festive, so over the Christmas part rather than the New Year.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Joya. So yes, what I'll do is after the webinar, I'll send the recording through to everyone that we will put on the YouTube channel. So you can share that with any colleagues or anyone that you know that may have missed today's webinar. And I'll also include the upcoming offers that we've got going on for Alila. So yeah, hopefully we get some great requests and inquiries through following on from the webinar.
Wonderful.
So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you to everyone.
Thanks everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.